What's up everyone, Chris here from MTR Network, and I'm back with another video review. This time I'm reviewing not really reviewing, I am discussing and giving my early thoughts on the first 6 episodes of Daredevil Season 3. Marvel has been kind of on a tear since the end of last year. They put out Season 1 of Punisher, and then here in 2018 they put out Season 2 of Jessica Jones, Season 2 of Luke Cage, Season 2 of Iron Fist just came out, and now they're doing Season 3 of Daredevil. And we got early screener access for Daredevil. It's going to actually air for everybody else on October 19th. But the embargo's up to now, so I kind of give my first thoughts. And just to let you guys know, it's only the first 6 episodes they gave us. I believe they'll probably open it up and give us all the rest of the episodes next week, so I'll kind of have more thoughts. So that's why I'm not really calling this a review. More of early thoughts, because and I think it's especially true for this one, for this series, their Daredevil series. I can't give a full feel for how this season's going to go. I mean, one of the things is, you know, they just did Iron Fist, and Iron Fist got knocked down to 10 episodes, which I think worked really, really well for that. Looks like Daredevil's going back to 13, and if we only get 6 episodes of this, we're not even getting a full half a season yet. I mean, we're getting less than a half a season to kind of give our thoughts on it, and I think you're going to need to see the entire review of this, how this goes, and I'm going to kind of get into why I think I need to see more episodes to really give my true feelings on this series. But this picks up pretty much. I mean, we haven't gotten a Daredevil season since I think about a year and a half ago, and we did get Daredevil. Obviously, we got Matt in Defenders, and this kind of picks up with, you know, the end of Defenders, where everybody else kind of thinks he's dead, but he's not dead. He was found by the nuns and taken to the Catholic Church. So that's pretty much where this series starts off at. And yeah, let me jump right in here and try to give some of my early thoughts on this. If I had to sum up what these first 6 episodes mean, and my early thoughts on them is, and this is, I'll explain this later, it's not entirely a negative, but slow. After having Luke Cage Season 2 and the pace on that one, and definitely the pace and the shortened series on Iron Fist that we just got, Daredevil Season 3, if you were expecting that kind of quick pace to kind of get to where you're trying to get to and try to figure out what's going on and kind of get your bearings for it, it feels like, I don't want to say a step back, because that technically means that it's bad. I don't think it's this. I wouldn't have done it, and it's not the choice I would have picked, because I actually did like the quicker pace of Iron Fist Season 2. I did like the shortened series, the shortened episode numbers. But here with 6 episodes, I'm not gonna lie, I was going through the first 3 to 4 episodes, and I actually hit up my partner in crime on this, Brandon, and I had to hit him. Was like, hey, dude, what is your thoughts on this? It's like, I feel like I didn't want to tell him this, but he came back to me, and his first thing he said to me, the same thing, was, it's very, very slow. It takes a long time to get to things, and I think that slowed pace kind of does hurt some other things. Now, I will say that out of all the casts that they have, I think the Daredevil cast is really well cast. I mean, you have Charlie Cox as the main character, and I think he's probably next to Christian Ritter, I think he's probably the least problematic that people have with the casting of him. I think people like him as Daredevil. I like him as Matt Murdock in Daredevil. We have, obviously, we're bringing in Wilson Fisk this season again. Vincent D'Onofrio is back, and he's Vincent D'Onofrio, so he's fucking great. I like all the other characters in this series as well. They're bringing in Wilson Bethel. He's playing Benjamin Poindexter, aka Bullseye. I was thinking that they were going to hold that off, but they clearly come out with some of the trailers and kind of said who he's going to play. So, and I like his character in there. So the talent is there, and I do like their character. I do like those characters, and so I think the slow pace can kind of be offset by the fact that, hey, yeah, you're just getting some characters giving exposition, you're getting some characters just having a lot of dialogue. It's very, very dialogue heavy here. And I wish I could remember the woman who's playing the head nurse, the head nun in this series. She has a lot of good scenes with between her and the father, the priest. They have some really good scenes with Matt, some really good dialogue scenes, but it's really, really dialogue heavy. And I do think that I would have more of a problem. I mean, I do have a problem with it being slow. I would have even more of a problem if they weren't weren't well acted scenes. But I think that slow pace is really kind of does hurt in some other aspects. Like, for instance, Matt's character, again, Charlie Cox does a great job, but Matt's character just feels like he's not really growing from the 3 seasons we've seen from him. And I think this is a problem not just with Daredevil, but with all the other male leads on these series. You just don't see a lot of growth with them. I think out of all of them, Finn Jones is Danny Rand is the one that shows the most self-awareness and growth. Like, the Catholic guilt stuff is definitely part of Daredevil, definitely part of Matt Murdock, but it is laid on thick in this season. And what ends up happening is you get a lot of just really dumb basic scenes from Matt that kind of feel like season 1. Like, at one point, Matt's whole thing here, and this is not really a spoiler, Matt's whole thing is he doesn't want to tell Foggy and Karen that he's alive because he's going to become Daredevil. That's just what he's going to be. He's going to be Daredevil. Matt Murdock is gone. He's given in to the devil of Hell's Kitchen. But then he goes and does different things and brings... He says he's doing this to protect them, but then he goes and does things that literally puts them in danger and literally brings them in, that puts them, like, right center into the mess. It doesn't make any sense. Karen's character is, I think... they never really do Karen's character a lot of justice. I think at one point she's something comes up and she's still worried about her having killed Wesley in season 1, and it was self-defense. Like, I don't understand why that's coming back to being a big thing. It just, I don't know. I just feel like the season is so slow, and I feel like we've kind of hit these points before, and we're taking so much time to kind of go through them one by one over and over again. And it, I don't know. I kind of wish I think we could cut some of it out. I really think they could have condensed some of that stuff, and we really don't need to see it. I mean, it's well shot, it's well acted, but at the same time, it's kind of pointless almost. The other thing too is, and again, I think as the season goes on, I think this changes. But one of the things that stands out about Daredevil was their fight scenes, and obviously they're one tracking shot scene. They always do. They do the hallway fight scene or just a one shot scene. And there's one in this series early on. Again, a thing comes in around like typically around episode 3 or 4, and it wasn't that good. It just really wasn't. It's brutal. It's there, and part of this is by design, and part of this is I just feel like they just didn't do a good job. Matt obviously coming back from the dead, and he's having to kind of get back into fighting shape, and so his skill set obviously isn't there. But at the same time, it's also just not a well shot scene. I was expecting better, and we've seen better from them, and not getting it kind of just it really just, I don't know, it kind of threw me off there. You don't really get the fight scene you're thinking you're going to get from Daredevil early on. Now, and again, they've seen it in the trailer, you know, when he's fighting the other Daredevil. That's actually a really well shot scene. Like, I had talked to Brandon earlier about this, and he had sent me his thoughts before he had actually watched the episode that scene is in, and he finally says, "He's like, now that's the scene we're waiting for." And again, I just think it takes so long to get to that point. I think again, it comes back down to the pacing of it. I just don't think this season is, so far in these first 6, is paced very, very well. I do like Wilson Bethel as Poindexter, and you do get a lot of backup on his character, and you see the slow descent into what he's going to become. And again, when you put a character like that up against a character like Wilson Fisk with Vincent D'Onofrio, and you see just how Fisk is playing the people around him. Again, I think that's the thing. The first 6 episodes, I think the more interesting story is less about Matt and his supporting cast. It's more about Wilson Fisk and seeing what's going on with Fisk. And you know, you're not told everything that's going on with Fisk, but you're kind of shown it, and you kind of see what he's doing. You kind of start figuring things out and figuring out the game he's playing. And I think that's what it is. I think this season, at least in these first 6 that I've gotten, way more about Fisk than about Matt. And the Fisk stuff is way more interesting than Matt. And that character is just great. I mean, I love that character. I can't remember the character's name because, again, I'm doing this review and I've watched these episodes weeks ago. There is a new new character, FBI agent. I can't remember his fucking name, but he's the one that's kind of handling Wilson Fisk right here, and you're kind of seeing the things that he's getting pushed to do and things like. Again, the whole Fisk angle is a lot more interesting, and again, I think. Again, what D'Onofrio does is fucking fantastic. So that definitely stands out. But yeah, like I said, it's not. I don't want to go out there and I don't want people to think, oh, you did Daredevil season 3 sucks or anything like that. It's like, no, it's just. I need, if you're gonna watch, when you're watching this video, I need you to really understand that the pace is way slower than I think we've gotten used to. Because even if you go back to like Defenders knocked down to 8 episodes, so that was quick. So I didn't finish or watch season 2 of Jessica Jones. I didn't finish, but I was watching Punisher, and I know for a fact that Punisher wasn't this slow either. So it just feels like, you know, the team on Daredevil didn't keep up with what the other shows on Netflix were doing, and so you're getting something that again just isn't. It's just slower than everything else you've been going through, and I don't necessarily think it's bad, but I think if you're not prepared, because I got access to Daredevil to watching Daredevil shortly after I finished watching Iron Fist. Like I would say, like within a week of watching Iron Fist, I then started watching these 6 episodes, and after going through that 10 episodes, that was really quickly paced, and really focused on the action scenes, and the action scenes and Iron Fist were just, they were great. To get into Daredevil, it did feel like a step back. It felt like, it was almost like a culture shock about how slow things were going and how sloppy the fights were. And again, part of that is by design because Matt is getting back into it. But you would think that it would be married up in other places, and it kind of isn't. And so, like I said, I was very, there's a prison breakout scene. Again, I wanted to really like that scene because it is really, really intense. But I do believe it should have been shot better. So, yeah, that's my early thoughts on Daredevil season 3. I'm really actually interested in hearing what other people who actually did get to see this think of it. Like I said, I need to see more. This is not me saying I'm out on Daredevil season 3. I definitely need to see the next 7 episodes because, again, as you get to about 4 or 5 and 6, definitely pick up. Particularly 6. When 6 ends, you're kind of like, okay, I need to see 7 now. Which I think that it kind of goes to what I was saying before. That I do think 10 is a sweet spot, and if they can kind of cut down some of the fluff, you can get like 10 really great episodes and not have to worry about this, and worry about the slow pace. So, yeah. So there you guys have it. That is my my opinion on the first 6 episodes of Daredevil. Like I said, I should be back next week when I believe I will be able to get, before the season fully airs, I'll be able to get the last 7 in, and I'll be able to tell just exactly where I stand on this one. But yeah, it again, it's a big culture shock going from Iron Fist season 2 to Daredevil season 3. I don't think I was prepared for it, and I think with some space for everybody else in between, maybe they'll feel a little bit differently. But yeah, that's where I think. So let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer as best as I can without any spoilers in there. Like I said, stay tuned for next week. I'll definitely, I know last time I said we're going to do a video, and we ended up not doing one. I'll definitely make sure I do a video on this one to talk about what I think about when I finally get to see the rest of the episode. So, Again, folks, thank you guys very much for watching, and make sure you subscribe on MTR Network on this channel here. You can also find the rest of our reviews and things like that on Super Tuesday Recap. We're reviewing, we have a review for The Gifted coming out. Be coming out this weekend, so stay tuned. We're reviewing the first 3 episodes of that. So, again, folks, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, we are out of here. Peace.